All right, let's get right into it. You've probably heard the term YouTube automation thrown around, right? And for years, let's be honest, it's been completely misunderstood. People think it's all about chasing views or trying to game the algorithm with, soulless content. But today, we're looking at a totally different way of thinking, a strategic system for building a real, profitable, and automated business on the biggest video platform in the world.
In this quote right here, it just nails the mindset shift we're talking about. This isn't about getting lucky or hitting some kind of viral lottery. Nope, it's about putting a proven business system in place. Look, it's going to require some real work up front, no doubt about it. But the whole point is to build a predictable, long-term asset, not just some flash-in-the-pan success.
And that brings us to a really crucial point. We have to stop focusing on what we call vanity metrics. You know those numbers that feel so good to watch, like subscriber counts and view numbers? They're great for the ego, but they don't always translate into a sustainable business. The goal here is to build something you actually own, something that brings in income predictably, month after month.
If you've ever looked into making money online, this probably looks pretty familiar. So many of the popular models have a fatal flaw. With dropshipping, you're just constantly battling insane ad costs for tiny little margins. Running a social media agency or freelancing? Well, you're just stuck trading your time for money. There's zero passivity there. And Amazon FBA? High startup costs and a brutal race to the bottom on price. They're all a grind, just in different ways.
So that's the big question, right? If those other models are so flawed, why is this YouTube method any different? What makes it the better business model? Well, let's break down the core strategic shift.
What we're really looking at is a complete shift in thinking, a whole new paradigm for how you approach the platform. This isn't just some small tweak. It's the fundamental difference between treating YouTube like a fun hobby versus treating it like a serious business.
And this slide just lays it all out perfectly. The old way? It's all about broad entertainment, chasing views, which makes you 100% reliant on AdSense. And that means your RPM, your revenue per 1,000 views, is usually pretty low. But the new way? It's a completely different game. The goal is to educate a very specific audience and solve their problems. Your focus isn't just on views, it's on building a sales system that creates multiple high-value streams of revenue. And that is why the RPM is massively higher.
Okay, so at the very heart of this new method is something called the money video system. And you can really think of this thing as the engine of your entire business. It's what drives both the growth of your channel and, more importantly, your bottom line.
We call this a symbiotic system, and honestly, it's a beautiful, simple idea when you break it down. You build out a whole library of helpful niche videos that answer very specific questions. Then, inside every single one of those videos, you strategically point viewers to one central, super valuable money video that basically acts as your automated salesperson. Let's walk through that flow. First, your niche videos. They're like little magnets, pulling in your ideal audience for free through YouTube search and recommendations. Second, you use everything you've got, links, end screens, callouts, to funnel all that traffic to your one money video. And finally, that video does all the heavy lifting. It converts viewers into customers 24/7 without you ever having to be there.
Now, if you're wondering what this actually looks like in dollars and cents, this slide tells the whole story. With the old AdSense-only model, say in an entertainment niche, 100,000 views might get you about $500. But with the new way, an educational money niche plus this sales system, those same 100,000 views could be worth over $10,000. It's the same amount of traffic, but value 20 times higher. That's insane.
Okay, so you can see the potential. But the question is, how do you actually build this? Let's get into the practical side of things, the actual blueprint for how this content gets made in what we call a faceless production process.
Everything, and I mean everything, starts with picking the right niche. The most profitable channels solve expensive, painful problems for people. You see some of the big categories here. The real secret, though, is to drill down and pick a really focused sub-niche. So you don't just do technology, you do AI software tutorials for freelance video editors. See the difference?
And the production process itself? It's a system, not a crapshoot. First, you model ideas that are already proven winners in your space. Don't reinvent the wheel, just make a better one. Second, you write a killer script. This is probably the most important part, because you need a strong hook to grab people and keep them watching. Third, you use AI tools for the voiceover and visuals to create pro-level content without ever showing your face. And finally, you create a thumbnail that people can't help but click by modeling the top designs that are already working.
All right, so we've got the content system down, But how do you actually get paid? Let's peel back the curtain on the financial strategy, because true monetization isn't just one thing. It's a layered pyramid that's designed for maximum profit and, more importantly, control. At the very bottom, you've got the foundation. That's AdSense. And yeah, we'll take it, but you've got to think of it as just a welcome bonus, not the main objective. It's the least profitable and least reliable part of your entire business. Now, level 2, this is where things get really interesting. This is your income accelerator. We're talking about affiliate marketing, but done the right way. We're not promoting cheap Amazon products for a tiny commission. No way. We are promoting high-ticket software courses that offer huge, sometimes recurring commissions. This is a total game changer. And finally, we get to the top of the pyramid. The holy grail, the end goal, and that is selling your own products. This could be a digital course, a private community, an ebook, whatever. When you own the product, you keep 100% of the profit, and you have complete control. This is where you find real financial freedom. Which brings us to the final, and I mean this, the most important piece of this entire puzzle. Because what you're really building here, beyond the videos and the affiliate links, it's something way more valuable.
The difference between just having a channel and having a real business, it all comes down to what you see on this slide. Subscribers are a rented audience. You don't own them. YouTube does. End of story. And if their algorithm changes tomorrow, poof, your business can vanish. But an email list, that's an owned audience. It's a direct line to your people that you control completely. It is a real, tangible business asset that no one can ever take away from you.
So if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. Every video you make, every piece of content you create, has a bigger purpose. Yeah, it's getting views on YouTube, but it should also be working to move people from a platform you don't control to an asset you do. Because the real goal isn't subscribers, the real goal is building an email list that you own and can profit from forever.